Welcome to Big Boof Bets, Get Dat Money podcast. It is week 17, the final week of the regular season. I am Nate Stephenson. I'm joined by Mr. Big Boofy Scureman and Tony T-Bone Guarino. How y'all doing today, baby?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I had another good week last week. I know the podcast picks did as well. And, the wallet's a little thicker.
That's always a great. I mean, it's around the holiday season. It's always a great time to have a thicker wallet, man, because it gets empty really quick.
Yeah. I guess technically my wallet is not thicker, but my betting count is better.
Everybody else had a good Christmas because of the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
How about you there, Mr. Tony?
Pretty much the same thing. I was just getting ready to say that Santa came a little early this year, had a good weekend, and provided a good Christmas for everybody else involved as well.
Absolutely. I know my girl was very, very happy. We're going to leave it at that. All right. So, all right, without further ado, let's get right into it, man. How did the week 16 do?
Week 16 was good to us. We went 3-1-1. The Ravens covered -10. We had the Steelers and Jets under 38.5. Best bet in football right now. Steelers under.
Amen, man.
We had the Chiefs -4.5. Those were all winners. We had the Texans -3, which ended up being a push.
That was horrible, by the way.
And I got to be honest. That's probably the most upset I will ever be about a push.
About not losing.
Yeah, I didn't lose anything because of it, but man, I should have won some more money.
Jameis Winston was playing Santa Claus early.
Literally.
He was like,
yes.
Pick six for you. Pick six for you.
Please take the football. Yes. I don't even want the football. You guys just take it. But the best the Texans were able to do was hit a -3 right on the nose. Oh, well. Then we had the Bills +6.5. And that was another one. I mean, good old Billy Belichick going for 2 on me, covering by 7. Instead of just kicking it and leaving it at 6 for me. But
I don't like the Patriots.
Yeah, I couldn't hate on the decision. I get it from a football standpoint, so good for you. But
I still hate the Patriots.
Man, come on. Just kick the thing and trust your awesome defense to take care of business.
Probably radioed and be like, people in Pittsburgh got you +6.5. You like to screw Pittsburgh. Screw Pittsburgh some more.
So, really close to going 5-0, but still a very good 3-1-1. That brings our percentage for the season up to 57.4%. So looking pretty good here. And I don't know, man. I think it's time to get started with this week.
Indeed, man. Let's get it going.
All right, we can move right into our super packed 1 o'clock Sunday games. We'll start with the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are laying 2 with the over-under at 47.5.
So the Falcons have actually been 5-2 since their bye. They've beaten a lot of pretty good teams. If the Falcons season started after their bye, they'd be a top 3 seed in the AFC, and I want to say AFC, NFC here. So it's almost like they just finally realized they were supposed to be good this year. But alas, obviously they're not. They've had a bad year. They've had a disappointing year. I mean, you're giving me the Falcons. You're giving me a plus a point at the moment with the Falcons. With as good as they've been playing and as good as their defense has been playing as well. Jameis Winston had his couple good games, and as predicted last week, turned the ball over a lot to the tune of 4 interceptions, almost 2 pick sixes. It quite frankly should have been 2 pick sixes, but there was a blindside block to call back the second one. So he was playing Santa Claus last week. I don't expect him to get out of the Christmas giving season. I expect him to give the ball away a couple more times this week. So I think Falcons +1. I feel pretty good about that. And the over as well, which the Buccaneers are normally pretty good for because Jameis Winston's going to score points for everybody. Pretty good about that as well. +1 for the Falcons, -5 for me.
Yeah, man. From a logic standpoint, I am right on board with everything you said. And just when we were talking about this earlier, deep down, I really did want to lock it. But every time I show this team faith, they burn me.
The Falcons,
the Falcons,
yeah.
Yes. And like I've said before, they've kind of been my automatic wrong answer for the season for me. And I don't want another one. So at the end of the day, I am going to pass. But all of the logical logical thinking part of me agrees with everything you said. It would be my pick if you made me. And I wouldn't feel terrible about it, but just not quite enough for me to lock it.
So home run parlay stacker status.
Yeah, very very eligible in a home run parlay for sure.
Okay, up next, we have the Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. Bears 3-point favorites here with the over-under at 37.
So obviously, if the Vikings are getting 3 points, the alarms go off and be like, what's wrong? Well, what's wrong is the Vikings are locked in at the 6th seed. There's nothing they can do, winning or losing this game, that's going to change that. Hence, the public and the sharps and everybody is caught on and bet the Bears up to -3. I never want to give the Bears 3 points against anybody. There is a chance, just because of the talent of the Vikings, they could still win, and because of the seesaw nature of the Bears, that they could still lose. So therefore, I'm staying the hell away from this game. I'm sending it to the North Pole, back with Santa. No thanks.
Yeah, just too much unknown in this game for me. If everything was like the Vikings were playing for the division lead or some sort of playoff seeding, if they had something to play for, I would love the Vikings here, and you could flip it. You give me Vikings -3, I would be on that all day. But that is not the case. They have nothing to play for. I think the Bears stink. So just too much unknown from the Minnesota perspective, and I don't have any faith in Chicago. This game is a pass for me.
Okay, moving on, we have the Battle of Ohio between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. Browns 3-point favorites with the over-under at 43.5.
All right, so my attitude is kind of evolved on this game throughout the week, because initially when I saw it, I'm like, all right, these are two teams that their seasons are over. They don't care. Stay away. I'm not going to completely flip to top 5ing this, so don't go that far. But after further thought, how the Bengals played last week against the Dolphins, I mean, they could have easily kicked it. They could have easily mailed it in. They busted their ass to come back in the fourth quarter, down over 3 touchdowns, tie the game against the Dolphins, take it into overtime. And then you have the Browns, who basically their season was officially done last week after them losing. You have a bunch of guys on the Browns team they're guaranteed jobs, whether it's in Cleveland or elsewhere next year. There's a lot of established guys / some younger guys that are secure where they're at right now. They just don't have a lot to play for. They're in that funk of, all right, I just want the season to be done. Whereas the Bengals, they have some guys playing for jobs, and they showed that last week. So if you're making me, I'm taking the Bengals +3. This game matters to them in a couple different ways. They're motivated. Again, not top 5, but I'm hard leaning Bengals +3. I think that's a decent bet.
I disagree. I am on the other side of this. I do understand the angle of the Bengals have something to play for. Cleveland does not. Here's my problem. Cleveland is just the better team. We do this sometimes, and it's happened in previous weeks as well, where you talk yourself into a pick, and we ignore the most obvious, like, step one of the progression.
Very true.
Who's the better team? Cleveland's the better team. Cleveland has the better players. They played 3 weeks ago. Cleveland beat them 27-19, which would have covered 3 points. You want to talk about, like, the effort thing and all that and blah, blah. Like, I'm a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. I imagine the Pirates try hard all the time, but they've been pretty crappy for 20-plus years now. So, I don't know. It takes more than just effort to go out there and win in professional sports. Cleveland's the better team. Don't overthink it. It's just a field goal. Cincinnati is going into Week 17 with some other pretty terrible teams in the NFL already having the number 1 pick in the draft locked up. They stink. Take Cleveland. It's -3. And Nate, would you like the pizza box at?
Oh, I will join you on the pizza box.
Pizza box, baby. Add it.
All right. Up next, we have the Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. Packers laying 11.5 with the over-under at 43.
So short and sweet. Lions suck. 3rd-string quarterback. Packers are playing for the number 1 seed / at the very least a first round bye. Packers all day. They've been better in the first half. The Lions have been a backdoor hero that have killed some people. So instead of laying the 12.5 for the game, I will willingly lay the 6 points at the half with the Packers. And I think that is a great bet. I'm top 5 in it.
I also like the Packers. During our discussion, it was kind of like, well, do we like the game spread or do we like the first half spread? And I think we both just kind of landed on the first half. First off, it's just one of those mental hurdles to get over. 6.5, it's just one score versus obviously the 11.5 being multiple scores. The other part of that is just, like Nate said, for starters, the backdoor potential with the Lions. But also just what else is playing out in the rest of the games that affect Green Bay. So depending on how the rest of the day goes, they might take the foot off the gas in the second half because they might not have anything left to play for at that point either. So I'm down with the -6.5. It's not quite top 5, but it is like bonus 5-able for me. I didn't want to lock it. It's still one of those totals that if you go back through Green Bay's games, I think it was 4 out of 6 they did not actually cover. Now, when we actually break it down to teams that we would consider the quality of the Lions, they did cover both of them. I think it was the Giants and the Redskins, if I recall. But I don't know, just a little hairy for me going a full 6.5 at halftime. I do like the pick. Didn't quite want to lock it though.
That is correct. I did mildly misspeak. I did like it a lot, so I let my enthusiasm get the best of me. It's after we talked, it's bonus 5 territory, not top 5, but I still like it a lot. So, for the people, you'll let them know.
And moving on, we have the Los Angeles Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs laying 8.5. You're over under at 45.5.
Chiefs! Chiefs!
I mean, come on. The Chargers. They do play in Los Angeles. You were correct about that.
Finally got it right.
Smooth delivery today.
Oh, my God.
17 weeks.
There you go.
So
We're going
good.
out on a high note this
It's
season.
on a high note, baby. Dude, the Chiefs, come on. Chargers suck. They don't care. Phillip Rivers is old. They suck. They've just been sucking. They've been sucking because they suck. So Chiefs. -4.5 at the half. I heard some great logic. Long story short, the Chiefs at the very least will be playing their starters through halftime because they do have an outside shot at the number 2 seed. And short and sweet, if the Patriots lose and the Chiefs win, then the Chiefs can win the number 2 seed and therefore a first round bye. If the Patriots win, obviously, they will have the number 2 seed and a first round bye and will lock the Chiefs into the 3 seed. Therefore, if the Chiefs are seeing that the Patriots are whooping that Dolphin ass, which is possible, both possible and not possible, and they both play in the 1 o'clock slate, there's the chance that they will rest their starters, some of their starters in the second half. So therefore, at the very least, you can't count on the Chiefs to give maximum effort in the first half against a poopy Chargers team, which is why we both like the Chargers laying the points at the half as opposed to the full game. And I'm sure I probably stole most of your thunder, Boofy. I'm sorry, but I just got on a rant. And now it's your turn to pick up the pieces.
Let me put this puzzle back together here. Chiefs -4.5. I consider them to be a team that is starting to play their best football at the time that it matters. I think they're similar to the Saints. I bet, especially in their locker room, like within that little realm of theirs, they are still upset about the offsides call against New England last year in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They already got a little revenge in Foxborough. It's likely they'll have to go up there again, but like Nate said, depending on the outcome of the Patriots game, they might be able to get the bye, so there is still stuff to play for. And I think the Chiefs are for real Super Bowl contenders, if not my favorite team in the AFC.
Woo!
Sorry, Baltimore.
Even above the Bills.
Yeah, sorry, Baltimore.
Above the Bills.
That's a liking, not a I think they're the best.
Chiefs!
But yeah, man, I think the Chiefs are for real. And they are playing for something. Chargers aren't. Chiefs -4.5. At the half, I would be down for the game total, but that element of if New England comes out quick against Miami, then the Chiefs maybe bench everybody at halftime. I don't want any part of that. I don't want to get screwed by something like that. So Chiefs minus 4.5 at the half. That's definitely top 5 for me, and it is a lock.
That's top 5 for me. Lock it in, baby. Get that money.
All right. Speaking of the Devils, we next have the Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots. The Patriots laying 16 and the over-under at 45.
So late news, Tone. It's, as I just looked at it, it's up to 16.5. Even better.
Have it at 16.
Even better.
You gotta check all your books, baby.
Even better.
Right. Always recommend check all your books.
Even better. I say even better because obviously I want.
We know what side you're on.
I want more points.
Right.
Because the Patriots, let's face it, I don't like them. I feel like most of America doesn't like them, but I don't like them even more when I want to bet against them. So I feel like Mr. Ryan Fitzpatrick is. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but he has an I don't give a crap attitude, and I want to win and I want to score points. I'm 37. I don't know how many more years.
I'm with you. I am a Fitzpatrick fan. I love his game.
Oh my God. Like he's like, I love the beard. I love the attitude. It's like, I'm going to do everything I can while I'm still playing while I can. And the Dolphins, for the most part, have been a cover machine, especially when they've been given double-digit points. And the Parker's been playing amazing as well. Side note for the Dolphins. So the Patriots have shown some cracks in the second half of the season. I do think the Patriots are going to win this game and secure the second seed. But, man, you're looking at almost 17 points here. It might get to 17 by the time you actually bet this. So definitely keep an eye on that. We are at 16.5 now. I am taking the points on the Dolphins, and obviously it's not top 5, but it is bonus 5, and I love that. Give me those points all day.
I disagree, and I will be taking the minus 16 for the Patriots. We can say they've shown some cracks, and to a degree, it's true. I mean, they have 2 losses in here to the Chiefs and the Ravens. But here's the thing. If you kind of go back and look at the schedule, the better teams are where the cracks are showing, if you will. The poorer teams, which I do consider Miami to be, I'm going to give you a little bit of a tier here. So we had the Patriots versus the Bengals. Patriots covered, and they won by 21. They played the Jets. They beat them 33-0. They beat the Giants by 21. They beat the Redskins by 26. They beat the Jets by 16 the first time. And then they beat the Dolphins 43-0. Now, they did have Antonio Brown in that game. You could probably throw that one out. But they did play the first time. Defensively, they shut them out. So when New England is playing a poorer opponent, they've steamrolled all of them. And I expect it to happen again. It's December. It's Foxborough. New England is playing for a bye week, which they have always had in all of their Super Bowl runs. So you know they're going to value it. And what do you say, Nate? You want a pizza box, another one?
I'm pizza boxing. It's the Dynasty Dies this year.
Not in this game, I'm afraid.
Okay, up next we have the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. The Saints laying 13 with the over-under at 46.5.
Speaking of teams that suck, Carolina all of a sudden, like, hardcore went to suck status.
Yeah.
It's like...
That was a team we liked earlier in the year, too.
Holy crap. It's... Once the bloom went off the Kyle Allen rose, which, looked pretty damn good for a few weeks, for about a month. Let's be real. The Panthers have been falling on hard times. And what was even more surprising and crazy is that not only did the offense start, underperforming, but the defense all of a sudden just went away. And I mean, that's, if you're a championship caliber defense, even if your offense gives the ball away, you're still going to pick up the slack a little bit. And it's like once the quarterback play disappeared, so did the defense, which was very surprising for me because they have some players on defense. But yeah, having said all that, the Saints have a ton to play for here. You're looking at number 1 seed at the very least, bye territory for the Saints. They win. They got at least a bye. The Panthers have been losing by double digits for how many weeks now? So you have a hugely motivated Saints team. They feel like they have, quite frankly, lost their very good chances at Super Bowl titles the last 2 years. I think they think this is their year, and they're doing everything in their power to do something about it. So, yeah, give me the Saints -6 at the half. I love it. -13 for the game. I love that. I love both of them. Boof, whatever you want, I'm locking whatever you want because I love both of them.
Well, it's going to be the -13 is what we're going to lock. But I'm with you. I love the Saints. I guess we can start with Carolina. Willie Greer. Carolina was already doing bad with Kyle Allen. They go down to Will Greer. It looked even worse. Here he is again. As far as the Saints go, I kind of think of them like the Chiefs right now. I think they're coming into form. They, for me, are my favorite in the NFC. Like you said, I mean, you go back to last year with the pass interference call against the Rams. They've just been waiting for this time of year. Okay, and then we throw in apparently Antonio Brown was in town working out with them this week.
That's just scary.
You think if they were to sign him and he were to be allowed to play, they don't want a bye week to be able to just get on the same page? Give me the Saints -13. They are in my top 5, and that makes it a lock.
Lock it in, baby. Get that money.
Okay, to finish off our 1 o'clock games, you have the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills, with the Bills laying 1 and the over-under at 36.5.
Jets suck. Don't know what the Bills are doing because they're locked into the 5 seed. Pass.
Yeah, I don't have that much more to add to it, I suppose. The under is entertaining at under 36.5. But again, I mean, with the Bills team, I mean, you don't know how long starters are going to play, how hard they're going to play, etc. How hard they're going to game plan. You know, what are they actually going to show? Are they going to try and hide stuff? I'm with you. It's a pass.
Okay, that takes us into our 4 o'clock games. We will start things off with the Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams laying 5.5 currently, with the over-under at 45.5.
All right, so the Rams have been a little bit hit or miss. They've shown flashes of old Rams, new Rams, but this is more about if Kyler Murray is going to play or not. And even if he does, he's going to be banged up. And a big part of his game is his legs. He has a bad hammy. And you give me a banged up Kyler Murray or a backup Brett Hundley. Either way, I'm taking the Rams. 5.5 points. It's the Cardinals. The Cardinals have been slowly improving throughout the year, but the Rams still have a lot of offensive talent and a lot of defensive talent for that matter. And the Cardinals are still a young, improving team with a bad record. So under a touchdown, yeah, give me the Rams. Lay in the 5.5, top 5.
Yeah, I like the Rams a lot as well. The first game was 34-7 Rams. Like you said, Kyler Murray he's got a hamstring issue. He is a game time decision. Obviously, if he doesn't play, that is a downgrade. If he does play, a big part of his game is going to be held back. And kind of when the Cardinals were rolling a little bit earlier in the season, it was because he was running the football more and doing it effectively. So I don't know. I don't like the Cardinals' chances here. I think I saw that Jalen Ramsey is not going to play this week, but I don't care. I like the Rams -5.5. They are bonus 5 for me, but I like them enough that I also wanted to lock them in, and we're going to lock them in. The Rams are a lock this week at -5.5.
Hell yeah, baby. Lock it in. Get that money.
Up next, we have the Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Colts laying 3.5 with the over-under at 43.
So you have a lot of Colts injuries / don't know what I'm going to get. You have the Jaguars that just don't know what I'm going to get. So we're going to just push this into the Nate mathematical equation situation, and we're going to pass it.
Agreed on all accounts. This is a pass for me as well.
Okay, moving on quickly to the Oakland Raiders at the Denver Broncos. Broncos laying 3.5 with the over-under at 41.
So there's 2 things here. If the Broncos were at 3, I would be extremely excited because I wanted to Drew lock this shit in. Hardcore. But unfortunately, they are not. 3.5. That half point is a big deal because the Broncos will play some close games. And you have the extra added motivation that the Raiders, by some act of God, are still mathematically not eliminated from the playoffs. And I didn't realize it was actually not as bad as I thought. They only need the Titans and the Steelers to lose, and they have to beat the Broncos, and they're in the playoffs, which, like, for me personally came out of nowhere. So it's not like there's no motivation for the Raiders here. And those couple facts are really the only things that are stopping me from still betting the Broncos. So yeah, it's not top 5, but it's I'll give you a lean to the Broncos.
I was the same way. I mean, I've definitely been liking Denver lately. If we could have gotten it at 3, and we did, we looked at all the books we could find, but everything was over 3. Everything was in the 3.5 and above territory. So that's a big half a point. You know, we're getting over a field goal. I didn't want to put that much faith in them, especially with Oakland, having a shot at the playoffs. So at the end of the day, this is a pass for me.
Okay, moving on, we have the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants, with the Eagles laying 4.5 and the over-under at 45.
Oh, this was a great pregame discussion. It's one of those things I wish if we ever get big enough where we have an unedited cut, I'll give you the pregame discussion. Me and Boof were like hardcore debating, and you can definitely back me up on this. Like, my first reaction was like, Giants money line! Eagles suck, hurt, it's gonna run out. Don't like them. Giants, they're just, with everybody they have on the field, they're better. They're better. And it's just like, let's just say I calmed down a little bit, and I'm telling y'all right now, I will be putting the Giants money line in some home run parlay stuff. But if you want to feel safer, I do feel like it's a pretty safe bet to take the points here with the Giants. We are looking at 4.5. That is over a field goal. And even if you get a 21-17 scenario, whatever, you're still covering. You're still winning money. I like that. The Eagles play close games. They have a ton of people hurt. They have another person. Another person in the secondary out for this game. Give me the points of the Giants, baby. And I know you want a pizza box, so pizza box me, baby.
Well, I believe we talked about pizza box and the money line is what we talked about.
Oh, I'm still on that. I'm still on it.
Okay, good. I just want to be clear for the people here. I don't hate the Giants at 4.5, but I have the same things to say about Philly that I said about last week in the Dallas game. This is just what Philly's done since Doug Peterson has taken over as the head coach there. And when people start counting them out, they get rolling at the end of the year. And just like last week, I hear we're coming in last week, we're playing like crap, and they're riding a 2-game win streak. And you're talking about how it looks against certain teams and stuff, but well, now we're riding a 3-game winning streak, and we're coming in and we're playing the Giants, who Philly just beat 3 weeks ago. Now it went to overtime, but guess what happened? Overtime allowed them to cover what would have been a 4.5. So I'm not about to take the Giants here. Philly is planning to get into the playoffs, which they have done the last couple of years. And when they've gotten in, they've been able to make some noise, including winning the Super Bowl. So definitely not taking the Giants. I am taking Philly. Nate and I, we can document a money line pizza box here. I got Philly.
Box it, baby.
That takes us to your Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens, with the Steelers laying 1.5 and the over-under at 37.
So there's 2 things I can definitively say about this game. The first is that this will go under the total. The second is that after this game is over, I will be saying, fire Tomlin.
I think you can take both of those to the bank. I'm with you. I think both of those will happen, even if the Steelers win the game.
I feel like even if if there were odds on this,
they were getting terrible odds. It's probably around -7, maybe
it
700.
It might be
-750. Maybe it might be closer to.
It might be -1,000.
-1,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna be saying fire Tomlin. Yeah,
Nate's calling for it.
Yeah, fire Tomlin because he sucks. And I'm gonna say it now. I'll say it again later. I mean it even more. But the under has been a great bet since the beginning of November. I believe, what are we, 6 of 7 there, Boof, correct?
That is correct, yeah. Best bet in football, baby.
We are 6 of 7 on the under for the Steeler games. And now you're adding.
That's just under 37. They may have actually covered the actual under on that given week for all of them. I think it's all but Arizona.
Yeah, because that was 27, 24, 17, 41. Yeah, you're correct. But even then, I believe that was under for that week. Or no, was that the only one who actually went over?
Nah, I think that one was actually over for the week.
That would make sense, yeah.
The 37 total right now, it is 6 out of 7.
All right, that'll make sense.
Would have covered. So those are the types of games they're playing.
Correct. All right, so that's one of those things there. I mean, geez, you're buying it up. You can just buy a couple points up to 42, 45. I mean, that's your money. If you want some comfort in your bet. But yeah, you add into that the Ravens don't have Lamar Jackson. They're sitting him. Ingram is out because they're sitting him with an injury. So you're taking points off the board. And the Steelers defense is still playing. They still want to stop you. So I look at that as there are going to be less points scored from the other team. We already know the Steelers offense sucks because of all the injuries. So there's not going to be any points scored. So under 37, lock it in. That is to me, I agree. 100% agree, Boof. Best bet in football.
Yeah, and it is the best bet in football for a reason here. Just to add a couple extra points onto what Nate was saying, Marquise Pouncey is out for the Steelers, so their terrible offense will be even terribler.
Terrible.
If that's not a word, if I can get enough people to say it with me, apparently I can make it a word. So, terribler people, make terribler a word with me.
Hashtag terribler. Terrible.
Trademark coming soon.
But yeah, I mean, beyond that, the -1.5, I do like the Steelers to win, but
I do not.
Nate does not. But the Ravens are going to have RG3 in. He's going to be given an opportunity to showcase what he can do. Now, I don't think the Ravens are going to be pulling too many tricks out of the hat here, if you will. But this is still the number 1 seed in the AFC. They got a lot of talent on the team. I know Ingram isn't playing either, but they're actually pretty deep at running back. I know Marshall Yonda is not going to play for them, so we'll see how deep they are at offensive line. But it's still Steelers-Ravens. So the guys that are playing, they are going to care. The same can be said from the Steelers' perspective as well. I like the Steelers to win, but I don't have supreme confidence in it. The under 37, though, baby, best bet in football. I can't say that enough. Take that to the bank. If I could lock that 50 times, I would. But I'm only allowed one. It is a lock.
Lock it in! Get that money.
Okay, up next we have the Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans. Titans laying 5 with the over-under at 45.
Boof, there was a 1A this week to the best bet in football. It would be the Titans money line.
Yeah, this is a singular week.
Singular week.
1A, if you will.
Indeed. The 3.5. I'm sorry. I wish it was. Yeah. Holy crap! I wish it was 3.5.
We are close.
When we looked at it,
well, yeah, that's how the line is moving. So grab it now.
The public is piling on.
Don't let it get above a touchdown.
Yes, the Yinzer Nate jumped there. He's like, I'm on that. Get on it. Yeah. Public's on it.
I wish we would have recorded like 2 days ago so we could have gotten that.
Holy crap. I know, but Christmas kind of gets in the way of
stupid Christmas
making money.
Yeah, stupid Christmas.
Jeez. So yes, Titans are definitely going to win. Here's why: the Texans basically have nothing to play for. They need the Chiefs to lose. That's highly unlikely to happen. They already realize that it's highly unlikely to happen that the Chiefs are going to lose. On top of that, Deshaun Watson already has a bad back. Combine those two things, he's probably going to sit, which means you already have an MVP caliber quarterback sitting the bench against a team who barely struggled to beat the Buccaneers last week when they gave them 5 turnovers. Somehow the Texans secondary has turned into Swiss cheese. It doesn't look very good recently. And then you have an offense that's going to score less points against a Titans team who in the last half of the year has looked like one of the better teams in football. And by the way, they have to win to get in the playoffs. I like all of those things. All of those things point to the Titans winning. All of those things point to the Titans winning by at least a touchdown. I love it. Top 5 it. Feel good about it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love the Titans here. Anything under a touchdown, grab it while you can. Don't let it get above that. A back injury for Watson is something that if you already have a home playoff game locked up, you're not going to get a bye week regardless. For me, I personally would not risk that at all.
Not at all.
If they do, they're going to tell them, don't run, don't take hits, throw the ball away, take intentional grounding if you have to, do not get touched. And you're essentially telling Deshaun Watson to be a different quarterback than what he is. So you're going to tell him to play a different style of football than what he wants to play and has played his entire life. That doesn't work. Give me the Titans minus 5.5 or 5 or whatever we got them. What do we got them at right now, Tom? 5. Give me the Titans minus 5.
Yeah, depending on your
all
book.
Day. That is top 5 for me, and that is another lock for us.
Hey, you get him at minus 5. God bless you. That's awesome. Lock it in.
Get it while you can, man. Yep. Get it.
Get that money.
Rounding out the 4 o'clock games, we have the Washington Redskins at the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys laying 11 with the over-under at 46.
I don't feel like the Cowboys should be laying double-digit points to anybody.
Agreed.
I mean, holy crap. They've shown they can't beat good teams. They might beat okay teams. They will beat bad teams, which is a good thing you can depend on. In the NFL, that is a good thing to know. But Dallas Cowboys are hurt, and they need to win. And when they're in pressure situations, none of that stuff matters because they just seem to crumble under pressure. And then you add on to the fact that Dak Prescott is not at 100%. He looked horrible against a super injured Eagles team last week. They scored 9 points. I mean, the Redskins, even though they're the Redskins and they're a top 5 draft, they're a top 5 team in the draft this coming season. They've covered 10 points. What is that? 6 times last 7 games?
It's 5 out of 6.
5 out of 6. Okay, close. Yep. They've covered 10 points 5 out of the past 6 games, and they look pretty good.
Actually, it's 5 in a row.
5 in a row. All right, even better. And now you have Case Keenum playing quarterback, which is still a mild upgrade over Dwayne Haskins. I mean, you're giving me 11 points. I'm taking that all day. I'm top 5 in that. Give me the Redskins plus 11. Cowboys might win. Give me the Redskins plus 11.
Yeah, I'm with you. All the reasons you said. And I think just another part of it is just Dak Prescott. Like you said, it looks banged up. I mean, their tackles have been in and out of the lineup all season.
That's a problem.
And again, that has been a major strength of their team when they are playing well, meaning the Cowboys. And I do think that's part of their problem is just their offensive line is either injured or they're in the game but not 100%, especially Tyron Smith, their left tackle. But yeah, I mean, the Redskins have covered plus 11 5 games in a row. We're upgrading at quarterback, in my opinion, and I know you agree. And yeah, they're in my top 5. I love it. I love Redskins plus 11, top 5. Lock it in.
Get that money.
Okay, so our final game on Sunday features the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks, with the 49ers laying 3.5 and the over-under at 47.
Man, I'll tell you what, if the Niners were -3 right now, I would be lock city. Lock city. But again, division games are tighter. This means a lot for both teams. There's a lot of motivation on both sides. So, outsiders may look at that and be like, that's only half a point. Well, division games are tight. And this is a game for all the marbles. This is a division. Yeah. This is a bye.
Yep.
I mean, this is a lot.
Seattle won the first one.
So, I mean, rarely do good division teams sweep each other.
Yep.
So,
especially if we consider Seattle to be not the better of the two.
Agreed. And I know we both do. We consider the 49ers to be the better team. So, I think if you really want to get in on this game, I do think that the Niners money line is your safest bet. Anything other than that, I think you're playing with fire, and you might even be playing with fire with the money line, but I think that's your best bet. The big thing here is as well, also take consideration. Seattle lost Carson. They lost Penny. They lost Procise. They had to sign Beast Mode. Beast Mode is making a comeback for week 17. Like
that's a question. That's a question mark, though. They may have upgraded over all 3.
That's the crazy part.
Or we're getting some old dude who can't play anymore. We don't know.
Beast Mode's coming back.
Yeah, we don't know.
Oh man, like I feel you on that, but you're giving me a 33-year-old running back versus one of the top teams in the league because Seahawks are in desperation mode. Man, give me the Niners. It's not, obviously not top 5, but it's hard lean Niners. Give me the money line.
Yeah, I downgrade it to a straight up. I don't like the game. You kind of already hit on all the topics there, so I don't think I need to add any more to it.
All right, well, that's it for the final week, so we can move on to this week's recap.
All right, there, Mr. Tony. We got the my top 5, which I believe is a bonus 5 because I think we got 6. If I'm doing math right, we got the Chiefs minus 4.5. We got the Saints minus 13. By the way, Chiefs was minus 4.5 at the half. Saints minus 13. Rams minus 5.5. Steelers, Ravens under 37 for the game. Titans minus 5. And we got the Redskins plus 11. And a couple likes I do have is I do like the Falcons plus 1. I do like the Packers minus 6.5. I like the Dolphins plus 16.5. We obviously pizza box the Giants money line, so we're gonna love the Giants plus 4.5. And we get the Niners money line. There you go. On to you there, Mr. Boofy.
I share the same top 5 plus 1 that you do. Then I also like the Browns minus 3, the Packers minus 6.5 at halftime. I like the Patriots minus 16 and the Falcons plus 1. That'll make our locks for the week. We got 6 of them for you. Chiefs minus 4.5 at the half.
Chiefs!
The Saints minus 13. The Steelers and Ravens under 37.
Fire Chapel.
Titans minus 5. Redskins plus 11. And the bonus lock, Rams minus 5.5. Best of luck to everybody this week. And let's get that money.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Get that money.